another episode of Lost in the Farmer's Market Garden Life, where today we're looking at this lovely specimen here. Now, I've zoomed in to really show the best part of it. Its scientific name is Verbena Bonariensis, commonly called tall verbena, which, ironically, for such a bland name, really describes it, considering its other names, which can make it mistake it for other plants. Now, it's in the Verbeniaceae family, so it's in there with lemon verbena and your traditional verbenas that you'd buy at the garden center. And in fact, this plant appeared at the garden centers this year, really in numbers. And I thought, wait, don't I have me one of them? I do. Now, I'll get into the details on that in a moment. But anyway, the name verbena is from Latin, and it means sacred bough, as in like a bough off a tree. It was used in rituals and things like that, another form of verbena, so it has that going for it. Bonariensis actually comes from Buenos Aires, referring to the location in Argentina. Buenos means good, and Aires means air, so good air. Okay, right? Anyway, so that means it is native to South America, tropical South America to be specific, and that means it is technically a native plant, so woo for natives. It is hardy in USDA zones 7 through 11 as a perennial that may or may not be herbaceous. Its pH preference is 5.8 to 7.2, and in terms of care and concern, as you can see, the pot in the soil is dry. This pot is too small. This plant has outgrown it rapidly. It is a thirsty plant, which is why it's often found growing near locations with high groundwater or creeks or streams where its roots are. It has access to moisture, but its roots aren't exactly wet. Okay. Its height can be up to 6 feet tall, and its width can be up to 3 feet, which is pretty nice. In fact, you will see this in North Carolina right now along the roadsides. It's that purple sheen amongst the bushes. It's probably this plant. Now, it's also known as purple top vervain, cluster top vervain, Argentinian vervain, and pretty verbena. So between tall and pretty verbena, that's a lovely name. I prefer pretty verbena, honestly, but tall verbena may be what it's listed at the garden centers. They may or may not have selections with less internode space, because this plant is wispy and airy, and, you know, it's not the center of the function, but it is the enhancing aura because of how its flowers are born. It is susceptible to powdery mildew, and my specimen actually, if you look down here, has a few spots of it on the leaf. Due to its tall, thin nature, it works well as a sort of supporting centerpiece with other thicker plants, more densely foliaged plants. It attracts pollinators in spades, so there's that, but it may be invasive as it self-sows readily. And that's the downside. It's found by the roadside all over North Carolina, and in fact, about 10 years ago, I dug this one up along the roadside, back before people started trying to go, hey, let's cultivate this weed. So this is a weeds to garden plant story. Any weed can theoretically be reclaimed and turned into a garden plant if someone's willing to work with it. This plant is spectacular when it's given regular water and fertilized on a regular basis. This plant went from a wispy nothing because it was in the wrong spot to its full size with its pretty flowers, because I started actually caring for it the way one would any other garden perennial. So there's that. So that's tall verbena, aka pretty verbena, for you. If you have any thoughts on growing this, or you have any good or bad stories, please put them in the comment section. If you like this video, please hit like or subscribe. And as always, folks, keep them growing, and remember, the blog will be coming back next year. Thank you for watching.